This is wildlife biologist Eric Orff with my New Hampshire Fish and Wildlife YouTube channel. Look where I am. I have come back to Andover, New Hampshire. Yes, I have. So here I am looking at the snow in Andover, New Hampshire. I've not been up here in a couple of weeks, maybe 3 or more now. But I just went out right over there on the edge of these pines and measured the snow depth. And there is 6½ inches of snow here in Andover, New Hampshire on the 17th of February, 2021. Let us recall that back in December, around December 16th, there was 4 feet of snow here that went away a week later. So here it is 2 months later from when we had 4 feet of snow here. We have but 6½ inches of snow. So I was kind of driving up Route 4 from Epsom, New Hampshire today to assess the winter conditions here in central New Hampshire. So I live in Epsom, which is the southeast corner of Merrimack County, and I think Andover up here towards the northwest corner is still in Merrimack County. I think it goes all the way up to Wilmot. So really, Merrimack County is kind of the central part of New Hampshire for the most part. You know, so certainly there's more snow at elevation and less snow, you know, to some degree further south you go. So I have about, I think, 5 or 6 inches of snow at my house in Epsom on the southeast corner of Merrimack County. Now, what did I see today? Well, the Merrimack River in the Concord-Bosquen line, just north of the Hannah Dustin Memorial, there was some open water, and driving along Route 4 here, along the Blackwater River, I could see a lot of small openings. I don't think there's a lot of ice, so we get a warm rain here in the next week or two, and that ice is going to go. And the other surprising thing I saw were a couple of small brooks that are really the small ones that you can kind of jump across, not very big, not 3 or 4 or 5 feet wide. A couple of those, from my view today, were open. In fact, a couple of weeks ago when I was driving along Route 11 on the south side of Winnipesaukee, along the Laconia Airport, there's a little brook that runs along Route 11 there that was wide open as well. So despite the fact that we've had some very cold temperatures here the last 2 weeks, everything hasn't frozen solid. So we went into the deep freeze of the last couple of weeks with pretty warm ground. You know, we didn't get snow of any amount here in central New Hampshire till after February 1st. So we've really only had 2 weeks now of snow on the ground here in central New Hampshire. The sun certainly is getting up a lot higher. I did see, you know, south-facing slopes today on my way up here, where was a lot of bare ground. So the higher sun is already melting the south-facing slope. So at least in my book, not a bad winter for deer. There is quite a bit of crust over there. When I just walked out there, certainly I broke through, but there's a little bit of a crust there. I think animals could still break through, scrape down and look for acorns or seeds. So I don't think it's an impenetrable crust at all. I don't think much of the wildlife this winter is having a difficult time getting around. Certainly south of the White Mountains in central New Hampshire, all the way south to the coast. So a good winter for our wildlife here in New Hampshire. Good year for deer, turkeys, and lots of other wildlife. Of course, the smaller voles and mice that like to hide under the snow to get out of harm's way in the wintertime. Until 2 weeks ago, that wasn't so good for them. Of course, our snowshoe hare, which turned white when it was still bare ground, not so good for them. But for lots of wildlife, I'm thinking this winter is not so bad for wildlife here in New Hampshire. And we certainly are on the far side of winter here. You know, another month, by the middle of March, a lot of the snow is liable to be melted. Even when we get some heavy snow, it doesn't last about a week or two and not months. So, you know, we certainly are looking at a pretty, in my estimation as a wildlife biologist, a pretty easy winter for New Hampshire's wildlife here this particular winter of 2021. So again, wildlife biologist Eric Orff with my New Hampshire Fish and Wildlife YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. We'd sure appreciate that. Thank you very much. Here is winter in central New Hampshire.